Welcome guys to episode 2 of Bronze 2 Masters, sponsored by ASUS. ASUS is one of my sponsors. They're very nice and they decided to sponsor this show, so I'm bringing it back. This is episode 2. In last week's episode we did macro builds and all of the matchups, and we did a 4-gate and a proxy oracle. Proxy oracle was versus Terran, the 4-gate was versus Protoss, so we'll try to do a different build for any matchup we get. Last week we only got one Zerg, so very unfortunate there. If you have any builds that you want to see, I always put something on Reddit. So last week was very basic, explaining everything, literally building placement, this and that and this and that. As we get further on the ladder, I will be doing fancier build. For now, we did very simple, cheesy, and very basic macro. Maybe not the easiest macro. In PvP, we did 3-gate 1 robo. Versus Terran, we did... Versus Terran, there's no... I'll get my Nexus later. No, you really have to do 1-gate expand with a Nexus. But versus Terran, maybe we'll try to... that's a very good question. I'm not sure yet. I don't think I have the sound on. I didn't do a sound check. I'm an amateur. It shouldn't take too long to fix though. Alright, so let's get started. We have a random here. Random. It is okay to scout on 9 as you are in lower leagues. You know, knowing the race of your opponent really helps out being prepared. As you get higher in league, you know, gold, plat, always scout after the gate. Unless you don't know how to do gate expand versus Zerg, then it can get a little bit complicated. But gate expand is a good style. We did the forge expand when we played the Zerg last time. This time around, and also I want to show the APM counter. My program is somewhere around here. Oh yeah, last week we were playing on the laptop and I didn't... So okay, so we have sound and we have the music. Last week I was playing on the laptop, I didn't have an APM counter, but this time around I want...
APM alert
on.
on.
No, this is not what I want.
APM alert off.
Thank you, Smix, for your beautiful voice, letting me know what's up. Tools, on top APM display. And then it's going to show up somewhere on my screen. I have to look for it. Alright, 9 pan on. Why is my sound so... Yeah, my thing has to be bugged. Is my headset dying? It's been 4 years, so it would make sense.
You must construct additional pylons.
Okay. So, we're going to scout on 9, like I was saying. I'm still looking for the APM thing. Tool, on top, APM display. It doesn't want to show up right now. I'll try to get it fixed later. Camera locations is something that you should set up. We showed the hotkeys in the first episode, but just, you know, at the beginning of the game, just going every base, trying to center it just with the mouse button. If you press the mouse button, it moves the screen very slowly, and you want to try to center. Guys in chat, could you tell me if it's my sound, my StarCraft sound, or if is the StarCraft sound fine? Because this is really weird to me. So we have a Zerg, nice, we didn't get one last time, and this is something very common, so you want to be careful when you go in like that. So we're gonna do gate expand. There's a few ways to do gate expand. Last week we did sentry build, and the sentry build kind of worked out good. The sound is fine. Alright, my headset is weird then. So we're gonna get the core. So this is a gate expand. So versus a gate expand, we saw a gas and a spawning pool. So there might be some Zerglings. Whoops, that's a fly block. There might be some Zergling that come our way. So we can get us a lot before the Nexus, and then we'll make a mothership core as soon as I finish building the Nexus at my natural. So we want to go up to 23 probes before we build a Nexus. And here my money's going high a little bit. It was due to the supply block, but it's okay. Alright. Trying to center your camera location makes you more accurate in the long term. So you click on the portrait, you press Control F. I've binded it to Alt, so it centers it. Those are just little micro. So every time you make a unit, you hotkey it. You want it to be ready for battle. Every time you make a unit, you hotkey it. You can put the two together. Not always useful because you won't be able to force field because the mothership core has a higher priority. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Usually when I start making sentries, then I'll remove the mothership core. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold shift, click the mothership core, and then it removes it from my control group. So like I said, he's got a gas, he's got the spawning pool earlier, like I said earlier. There might be some Zerglings coming, so we need to finish up the wall. And we're just going to do a sentry build. The Stargate build at bronze level is out of this world. You're going to struggle a lot. It's a lot to handle. Yeah. So transfer, we have 16 here, so we transfer the rally points. You can, if you want to be fancy, put the rally points on different mineral patches. So we're going to get 3 gates and a forge. It's very similar to what we did last week with the macro build. But this time it's from gate expand. It's very simple, just a lot of sentries, and the earlier you use sentries, the better you'll get at it. So, and there's not much to see. The mothership core, don't keep it in your main. You want to leave it outside, so you don't die to a roach on one base, and so other stuff like that. Make sure to spread some pylons, and you're making a lot of sentries out of your gates before warp gate finishes. So we'll get the gas. But yeah, before warp gate finishes, I'm making a lot of sentries, as you can see. I'm using the middle mouse button not too often. Scrolling to the sides is always better, but as an observer, sometimes it's okay. And when you're doing your camera locations, you want to try to center it as well as you can. And then yeah, so we've got a couple sentries. Warp gate's about to finish. Now we can go for the third base. We want to fill up the gases. Different builds will have different gas timing. Just assume that you always put 3 on each. It's just the easiest way to not complicate things. We want to chrono +1, make a few more sentries, and as off. Now, it's very easy to fail your force field. So because of that, you want to stay against the wall. So if I'm here, I'm against the wall. So we're going to get the Twilight Council to keep the forge upgrades rolling. And we're going to get a Robo Bay, because a robotics facility, because this is the best building to kill roaches, the best building to kill lings, hydras. Any unit that comes out of there is very useful, very robust. Okay, I went a little too fancy there with my English, but you get the point. So we have, so we see he has speed, so there might be a bit more lings. So we're gonna just pull back a little bit more into this little hole. So we see here a lot of lings. We see that he's got some detection. We see a roach worm, and we see that he doesn't have lair yet. So we're gonna go back to macro. We're gonna hotkey the forge. We're gonna chrono it. We're gonna get +2. We're gonna get blink. It's not supply block. Transfer the rally point. So we have 21 -5. That's 16, or -16. That's 5. Chrono and observer. The observer, you want to put it here just to see everything that's coming out. Obviously, as your bronze player, looking at the minimap is a little bit hard, but you'll get better at it. And just having the things in place to help you, eventually, once you start using them, it'll do it. So right now, we're on 4 gates off 3 base. That's not enough. I've talked about this. Off 3 base, you should have 12 production buildings. So we'll start with 10, plus the robo should be good enough. Immortals are expensive to make anyway. So that's 8 gates, and we'll make 2 more with a couple pylons. Delaying the gases is never a good thing. And my hallucination scouting here. Now I see a bunch of roaches. Oh, the Hydra den looks really weird. It was like it's freshly made, so it started by being small, and it's growing in size, and it looks really funky that way. I've never seen it. I can show you the difference here by just scouting. So back at home, Stalkers is what you want. Stalkers are good because they're range units, and they can blink. Once you have blink, there'll be more. See, now it looks normal, but Stalkers. Okay, so once you have blink, Stalkers are just worth so much more. Because you don't lose them. Like you blink, like you see the blue bar, that's the shield, and you just blink them after the shield runs out. So there's a Zergling here, he's trying to maybe pull me out of position. After you make the Immortal come out, you always want to put back the Zealot on hold position. Especially in low level, they'll try a lot to bait your won't get plus 3 weapon. They'll try a lot to bait your Zealot. Let's see, it's not on hold position. Like they'll come up with the Zergling, they'll pull back, the Zealot will chase, and then they'll go back in. So always on hold position, even if that means having a few Immortals stuck behind. Eventually you'll catch up and make him go on stop position. You see, oh, so you can't see that because my webcam is here. So you see like the hold position and the unit like right here. So it's on hold position, and then S for stop command to let the Immortal go in. So he's scouting me. We don't have a lot of AoE here, so Hydras could do well. That's a changeling. That gives him some detection. We want to kill it. We want to get charged so we can harass his economy later on. And so yeah, we got some force fields. If something gets attacked, I can blink it back. If it loses shield, I can blink it back. Obviously, it can be hard as a bronze player to do it. Like you're trying to be accurate and like, yeah. So we're gonna go attack, maybe send in the observer to see what's going on. Oh, he wasn't on hold position, see? I would have been very sad. And see, blink it back, and that's too much. So we'll force field behind us, walked back. Oh, I didn't make that, and I'm under probed here. I need to be at 16. Whoops, I chronoed twice. And we saw some Hydras, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to get some. We'll send our Zealot to the Watchtower. So what you do is you send, then you press Shift, you click on the Zealot, and then you move away, and then you re-hotkey again. So you see the Zealots going this way. A lot of people don't do this. You can do it with attack move too. Attack. You see it's a red circle. Remove the Zealot with Shift, re-hotkey, and then pull away. So only your Zealot's being attacked. Because look, finding your Zealot in your army and then clicking him and then sending him is always slower than just clicking here, removing a Stalker, and then pulling back. But yeah, now this guy is coming up. We see him on the minimap. It's a lot of units, but not a lot of good upgrades. We're on +3 weapon. We haven't started a Colossus though. That's a little bit of a bummer. We're gonna try to grab the Watchtower again. So we see here there's no creep. We can move here with Observer. Confirm there's no 4th base. So because of that, we're okay. We can build a second Robo. I don't recommend this, but if you can't spend your money, then it's okay. You know, it's not. But you know, even people in like flat leagues, sometimes they struggle to spend their money. And so a second Robo can be okay. A third Robo, it's a lot of gas, you know. The thing is, like, if the map mines out and you have 300 gas as production buildings, those are 300 gas that could be 2 Templars. That could make the difference. So that's why you'll see pros stop at 2 or 3. Sometimes if they want to make a big switch. So I'm going to blink back here and Photon Recharge and Force Field. Oh, some of my sentries are out of position. Force Field. So I pulled everything back a little bit, trying to blink away. As long as I have blink, I don't need to warp in Zealots. We'll try to push him away, but we failed. Maybe warp in some Zealots to chase him. The Colossus joined the army, and we're gonna blink forward here to catch the Overseer, and the Zealots stop chasing. Stop chasing. Maybe we can catch him here with a blink. His army is very small compared to mine, and I have Guardian Shield. And stutter step forward, you know. If you attack move, sometimes your units are going to get stuck. You saw my units, they weren't moving. that well, and that's because you want to expand when the main's mining out. That's a sign to grab the 4th base. But yeah, when your units, like, I'll show you right now. So, for example, I'm gonna move this observer here. The creep's I'm gonna start attacking the creep. But you're gonna see the units in the back. They look really stupid. So you see, like, the units in the back. They're like, I can't attack. What I'm doing? Like, you saw the stalkers a little bit. They're like, what are we doing? And so what you can do is you can give a little shot and stutter step. You see this? So like, here's a good example. You'll see the units in the back again. So you see they're like, we can't do anything. So you can move forward and stutter step, but in this situation, I'm just giving him an opportunity to attack me. So some situations you'll want to force field to give the chance to least amount of units to attack. But if you're chasing, if someone's retreating, then you want to try to stutter step to get as many shots as you can before they run away. And you might have a borrowed something here. Oh no, sometimes your probes, if they're mining, they'll block the nexus enough that the nexus will never be made. And that was the case here, but it's okay. We'll warp in a little. Always bring your pawn on with your attack, even though there's a lot of creep, you can always find a hole. And yeah, or just we have 2 sentries left. That's not a good sign. But if you have enough blink stalkers, at some point you don't need a sentry. That was just a really good force field here. You cannot do much. Warp in again. I always add it to the control group and then attack move. Attack move on the minimap. And Guardian Shield is going to go for the Colossus, try to pull him back. Just like that. And yeah. It's important to identify what your opponent wants to do. Like, I see a few roaches trying to go back. He wants to buy more time before more roaches come out. You know, right now he's not trying to do anything, he's just attack moving. And you see the stutter step here is what I was talking about. He didn't stutter step with the roaches, and some of the roaches were stuck in the back, and that's not helpful. In GG, the first game goes pretty well. I want to get this APM overlay on my screen. I don't know why it's not being nice. Oh, we made it to silver, guys. Well, bronze is like not a very nice mineral to have. Why is it? Why is it? Oh, it's right here, but it's black. Why is it black? Maybe if I restart the program, it's gonna work. Well, I assume it died. SC2 gears. Right, it's back up. Ah! Ha! It should work now. Oh, it's not monitor capture, so it doesn't work. Okay, we'll do... Okay, so going on with the next game. If you guys have questions in chat, I can answer you. Keep it StarCraft related, because that's the point of the show. Putting this back. Alright. So, Alright, going forward. This is my APM counter. I'm going to try to stick to 100 or below, or even 50, which is really hard. Why not the same hype as when you got into GM on EU? Yeah. If you have strategy questions, please hit me. Hit me with your best shot. Don't burn. Hit me with your best shot. Yeah, my sound is really weird. I know my headset maybe broke. Yeah, I'm only doing toss and the giveaways at the end of the show, because I don't want to interrupt the show. I do this for an hour. It's been about 20 minutes. So we have a Zerg here, another Zerg. We did 2 macro builds, so it is time for an all-in. We're gonna do. I think this might be hard. An oracle is definitely a lot easier than a phoenix to use. So you see, I'm doing my camera locations, trying to center. An oracle is definitely a lot harder to use. We're gonna go for forge expand here, the build. So we need to rally here. It's easier to use, but it's not easy by any means. So locking my scouting probe, make the pylon, and go to scout his base. This is on the any server, yes. Alright. So we're waiting for the pylon. Can use the camera location. Chrono boost probes. Yeah, I tried to not repeat a build, and also you can request builds on Reddit if you want to get involved with the show. So we scouted him first. We see a second overlord flying this way. We're looking for oh, see, like I told you guys, they go crazy around that level for the probe. I think this guy wants to hatch first, so we're gonna chase him down here. At 15 we want to rally at the natural, and he goes for hatch first. Now we are gonna play a little bit more greedy, so we'll nexus first into a pylon, so we can never stop worker production, just to equalize the situation, just to make it a little bit more even. Hatch first is not the end of the world, but if you don't make greedy adjustments, it's obviously they'll be slightly ahead. So we see a gas, we see a spawning pool. His follow-up will have links. I can't chrono boost here because I'm going to be supply block. I want to make the forge. Okay, run with this guy. You never want to lose your probe like that. Run with this guy. So now I can, sorry, now I can chrono boost probes. And it delays our gate a little bit, but his spawning pool is very delayed. So just trying to stay back even. We could just not delay the gate and be a little bit more aggressive early on with the Zealot, the Stalker, Mothership Core, and so on. But I want to show you guys an oracle. So I'm just sticking around here to see if he's getting a third base. So we'll do that a few more times. Getting the cannon 1 square behind, like this, so the roaches are having a hard time hitting it. A roach has 4 range. Cannon has 6. If you put it a square back like this, the roach will struggle to attack the cannon. We're gonna center the camera location so that next time I come, it's very straight. We're gonna add this nexus to the control group of nexuses. We're gonna make sure we have little white dots that tells us that we're not stopping probe production, which is really important. And so yeah, oh, my Frankerzy is angry, and I'm gonna have to close the window to keep you guys with a good sound quality. Alright, so we need a pylon in the main, although we already have one. You want to have your Stargate inside the main base, and this guy really loves to chase my probe with his drone. So the first thing we're going to build, as soon as the cybernetic core finishes, you can put down a tech building. So we're not even going to get warp gate first, we're going to get the Stargate first. Then we'll get warp gate. Oh, he's got some links now. I want to try to squeeze a probe out because I want to have a proxy pylon. So we'll go a little bit around. We'll just do this and do this and go this, because here he's going to have the watchtower, so you don't want to go through the middle. So we're getting warp gate. And then we're chrono boosting warp gate, and then we're getting +1 weapon, and then we're adding 4 gates inside the main base. I might be short on gas for an oracle actually. I think I should have added my gases here. I miscalculated a little bit. I didn't want to grab the gases. We'll make it work. We'll go 3 gas. We'll go 19 probes, and we're gonna add even more gates. The goal is just to get... so an Oracle does extra damage to Zerglings. An Oracle does extra damage to light units. A light unit is a Zergling. It's a worker. Am I really supply blocked by 1 supply for my Oracle right now? Okay. Sometimes you can do this. Try to kill one of your own probes. So it does extra damage to light units. Oh, I had 2 on this gas. Things a little bit. No, I think that's very recent, actually. Okay. So, does extra damage to light units, workers, hydras, lings, marines, zealots, sentries, aliens, banelings, widow mines. Actually, I don't think banelings are light unit. So here what we're gonna do is a very simple build. It's very dirty. So this oracle is gonna get some damage before us, before we come with the zealots. We want to make sure we have enough pylons. The Oracle can kill the Queen, so if there's no Spore Crawler here, I can kill the Queen, and that's gonna help me. I'm not looking to do... I mean, economical damage would be nice, but getting rid of the Queen now... will help later when my Zealots are fighting. If he starts having roaches, you want to mix in Stalkers. I'm floating a lot of minerals. My warp gate was late. Alright, so the second oracle comes in, so we're gonna go for the queen again. And once the queen's dead, then my oracle can kill... Oh! This time around he's got some... we'll make some stalkers this time. But... Nope. So stalkers are good, but not versus Zerglings. And you see I have +1 weapon, so my zealots do really well versus the... We're gonna chrono the gates. I'm trying to lower my APM, but I don't think it's working. Okay, we're gonna... So you see, he's got a lot of Zerglings, but he doesn't have any upgrades. We're gonna bring back the Oracle, which has a lot of energy right now. Make more Stalkers. Oh, I wanted to show you guys how quick an Oracle killed Zerglings, but if you're in Bronze and you do this, you know, just an Oracle into 8 gates and a second Oracle, and then you just make sure that, you know, if there's roaches, you make Stalkers, if there's Zerglings, you make Zealots, and you make sure the Queens are not there to defend your Oracles. You should do very well with this build. It's very simple. It's not something that you'd see at pro levels. Although you see it sometimes, you'll see the version that's a 4-gate with the Oracle, and they transition after the Zealots become cost and efficient. You know, once there's a lot of roaches, the Zealots are not as good, and then making Stalkers can be hard to micro. Because lings are very fast, roaches, and they're on creep, so every Zerg unit is faster on creep. And but no, this version at lower leagues, you know, your silver, your bronze, you'll go far. It's very simple, all in. If you have any build requests, go right on Reddit. We're gonna not take a small break, but you know what? We'll take a small break of 2 minutes so I can read if there's any build requests on Reddit that I should do. And when I get back, we'll do the second part of Bronze to Master. Stay tuned, guys. I'm waiting for the commercials to be over. It should be over in about a second here. Second or two. Come on. Come on. Alright, welcome back. Bronze to Master episode 2. The few requested builds that we had on Reddit were Proxy Robo. Proxy Robo, about only good versus Protoss, or Terran rather. We'll try it versus Zerg. I mean, Zerg, if you get above gold, they should spread their overlords good enough that they should see it, or if they see you not expand, they'll start spreading overlord and they'll spot you. And proxy immortal versus Zerg, versus Zerglings, you're not really going anywhere with that. Versus Protoss, it used to be a thing, but with the Oracle being so strong and you're proxying your Robo, that delays a lot your Mothership Core because it costs a lot of gas. Not so good. We'll get to it in PvT. A proxy Robo with a couple sentries and a lot of gateway units versus Terran is very strong. A map like King Sejong Station where there's back rocks, so the Terran puts the bunker at the front and the Immortals come in the back. Can be very frustrating for Terran and very fun to play as Protoss. And someone else was asking for really good all-ins. We've done one. We've got a Terran. It's going to be hard to do Proxy Robo on a 4-player map. This is the only 4-player map. The others are 3-player, the way it works. So we'll do it, but we'll sacrifice some economy and we'll scout on 9, which is not recommended at all at any league, but because we're still in silver, we can afford to do it, and we can just proxy the Robo from that point on. So yeah, let's get to it. Let me see if there's any strategy questions in chat I did not answer. The promotion works for the newer cards, obviously. Oh, Scout on 9. Frank UZ. Right, so we want a chrono boost. Favorite PvZ build right now, I would say Blink All In on 2 base. It is very fun. So we get a gate. Oh, and we see that he's here. So we see that he's right here. We cannot go in. We'll just go back and put the second pawn on here. I really dislike my dog right now. I hope it's not too loud for you guys. So we'll go 2 gas, chrono boosts, and then our second pawn on will be here. Just very early second pawn on. We'll get the Robo started as soon as Warp Gate finishes. Put 3 on each. Just like that. Make the Cyber Core. There's not, I mean, at this point, like, you have only 1 pawn inside your main base, so... Why? Why? I don't understand what happened, but... desRowfighting, I noticed you attacked the building with the probe. Wouldn't it be better to not attack when scouting in case they aren't paying attention? I was trying to attack the SCV, but sometimes the SCV waddles away on the other side of the barracks. And so... I do these 1 hour every Monday, and I give a CD key of Art of the Swarm at the end of every show. So if you want to learn StarCraft, if you have questions about Protoss, if you just, you know, maybe you're a Diamond Zerg, maybe you're a Master Terran, and you just want to learn some about Protoss just for fun, just come here every Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern, that's 5 p.m. CET, and yeah, Frank Rizzi is having a fit today. Oh, he's getting grounded. May he forever rip in pieces. Alright, so we have a Zerg. I want to do more all-ins. I want to do more all-ins because the macro builds, the fancy macro builds, I want to keep them for when we get to Plat, when we get to Diamond. Right, so we'll rally here. And we'll put... this wall's a little bit tricky. If you wall with Forge Expand versus Terran, or versus Zerg, you kind of have to put it far back, and sometimes I flip it. You want to scout on 9 versus Zerg when you Forge Expand, because you need to know if you need to put down that Forge to defend early Ling attack. Early Zergling attack. It's so easy to use like shorter words for units, but I have to be very very beginner friendly with my words. Alright, so Chrono a second time, 13 and 14 supply. I'm struggling to just point at the supply and I keep dragging the screen back up. So we're on very low APM right now. And it's okay to be slow. You kind of want to force yourself to be faster, but it takes time. See, I jumped up to 240 APM there. Right, so that's pretty early. That's a 6 pull. So I'm very happy. God damn it, the guy really had to start cutting grass outside. I just opened my window again. So that's that's a 6 pool. 6 pool, and I think he scouted. So we can't. Well, we could defend the ramp just because this map is special. This map is very special. Usually, you put down the forge and then you just restart from the main. But the way this map is set up, the 6 pool doesn't really work. So we'll have to worry about re-walling behind this gate. Oh, we'll have to worry about re-walling behind this gate because it's the vulnerable point of my wall. So he's gonna attack the gate, surely. Okay, so we just build another gate. We build a pylon. And we build another pylon. And there's a little hole right here that he could get in. But, and then we'll make a cyber core. And we'll make the gases because we want to transition. And, just like that, the game is pretty much over for him because he didn't make any workers, and then we can expand, and yeah. I could stay on one base, but I could stay on one base, not expand, and make a stronger push, but yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth the risk. No, nor would it kill him faster, also, because I don't have any gas. My cyber is really delayed, so yeah. And also, I'm walled in, so no probes are able to leave right now until I kill the rocks. So I wouldn't be able to warp in anywhere. So we're just gonna make slightly more probes and maybe go, you know, for Stargate unit instead of Warp Gate. Make an Oracle, and if he has to make a Spore, then he's even more behind. And then we follow it up with just a gateway attack. I see a few questions about the unrelated StarCraft stuff. I'm trying to be 100% educational, so sorry if I'm not answering your question. Right, so Oracle's about to be ready again. You want everything that comes out of the Robo, everything that comes out of the Stargate always wants to be chrono boosted, even if it's at the expense of chrono boosting probes. I have enough chrono boost to go around, but an Oracle takes 2 chrono boosts, and so you see, like I did one here, and then my other one will be here shortly for the Oracle, for the second part of the Oracle. And we're just gonna go like extra gates. Maybe start attacking the rocks. I forgot to chrono the Oracle. I need to get a probe out of my base. Okay, so the Oracle, you want to Aki it, and you want to go towards this stuff, towards this expand. Since we're killing the rocks, we're gonna need to make a wall to make sure that there's no counterattack that can kill us. So I'm watching the Oracle in the minimap while adding extra gates. And so we don't see a queen. It's only started now. And we can kill the queen here. If it pulls away, I'm not gonna chase it. I'm gonna go for the drones. He might have taken the front expand. And I have enough energy to just keep killing all the drones here. And he taps out. So just to show you like the income graph, because you're gonna have to visualize for this part. So we've been promoted to go. It's going quick, eh? Lots of wins in a row. So I want you to take a look at the income graph. Looking at these graphs are very important when you're trying to improve. They don't always mean everything, and you might have to look at the replay to fully understand what's going on. But here's pretty simple. We were at the very beginning of the game, the first 50 seconds, we were even. And then I started making probes, and he didn't. And so one thing you have to note is if I lose the forge, because this map is very special, right? It was a forge, a gate, I was walled in. But most maps, when you forge expand, it's very wide. You're not going to finish that wall. So yes, you're going to lose the forge. Yes, you're going to lose the panon. Yes, you might lose a probe or two fighting back the zerglings because you're going to want to make a cannon inside your mineral line. So you make a cannon before the forge dies, you make a gate inside your main, you go for the gases, eventually you get a zealot, the cybercore, but before the cannon finishes, the Zergling have a window of opportunity. They're not going to kill the forge right away. They're not going to kill the panon right away. They're going to go for the probes. Even if you lose some probe, I want you to visualize, even if you lose some probes, look how far behind he is. So 6 pools at early levels are very scary. They're very, you panic, your heart is racing. But you put things in perspective, think of the bigger picture, and it's really not a build that should kill you if you've been playing a while, but some people, they just start playing and it kills them. And yeah, that's basically 6 pool. And I'll see some 10 pool, I'll see some 9 pool, but I don't see 6 pools anymore on ladder. There's the economic follow-up. If you want to transition for Zerg, it's just too hard. So if you see a 6 pool, if you see a really early pool, just think of, I already have more workers, it's okay if I lose a few, and so on. So you wish the graph was in time, not seconds? Oh, you mean minutes? Yeah, I mean, you have to do math. Math's pretty hard. I agree with that. I'm joking. If you guys have questions about the game, alright, so we have a Terran, and this is one of the maps where a proxy robo will be nice. Now, when I was trying to do it earlier when the guy left, I did it on my second panon, but that's because I was sort of forced to scout early. This map is a 3-player map. I don't have to scout on 9, so a little bit of a difference. We're gonna be putting on panon over here, just like that. How do you decide between getting armor or attack first while upgrading? Always weapon. Weapon, because your immortals get +5 damage per upgrade. It might be +5 or +10. I'm doubting myself right now. Your Colossus get +2 per weapon upgrade. And so that makes your units just so much better when you're getting weapon. Now, when you're playing versus Terran, Guardian Shield makes your Zealot very tough. And so going for armor makes your Zealot survive longer. And this is why you only get armor, well, you get armor first versus Terran. And when you play versus Zerg and versus Protoss, you go for weapon, and once you're done with that, you go for shields. Shields because you'll have a lot of stalkers in PvZ, and shields because you'll have a lot of Immortals, Colossus, and Archons in PvP. So here we scouted on 13. We went for 2 gases, and we're gonna do a 17 Panon. You cannot make it earlier, otherwise you'll be stopping worker production, and that's a very bad thing. You know, if you can have constant worker production, I know it sounds very simple, but you should be able to go up to gold. People in bronze, purple, and silver, that's mostly what they struggle with, is keeping up with, always make workers, always make workers, always make worker. So this guy here is going for 2 racks, 2 racks, no gas. The Robo should do well. My probe took a little bit of time to leave his base. My Panon should have been started at 25 seconds of the Cyber Core, since we're proxying a Robo. And this is not a good proxy location. A good proxy location would have been here. It's remote, it's not too close. Here, he pokes up the ramp, he sees everything. But I was busy talking with you guys, and we're paying the price. You know, StarCraft is a game of timing. If you're trying to do this build, I'm sure your timing won't be impeccable. So we're about even, me and you. And for once, I'm just kidding. I'm not a god or anything. So if we're doing an all-in, 17 workers here, it's about good. 17 because you have an extra one here, so you want to sort of round it up. 16 is a really good saturation. You're telling yourself 17 because, you know, what if I want to expand? Then I'm sending a probe down here, sending a probe down here. That's gonna not be mining, so you'd be on 15. So 17 is about okay. With this build, you want to go up to 4 gates, but we don't want to make too many gates right now because the Immortal is very expensive. The Immortal is 250 minerals. It takes about 2 chrono boosts to complete. So we're making the Immortal. We're chrono boosting it, and we want to keep track of it. That's why I kept a bunch of chrono boosts. Eventually, my sentries will group up and go see what he's up to. We're gonna make a mothership core. On some maps, you could get away with not making a mothership core. Some ramps are easier to attack. Some ramps are easy. Oh, I'm supply blocked. Damn it. That's not good. Some maps are easier to attack, you know. The ramp here at the natural, you go up a ramp, you don't have vision. With the mothership core, you get some vision, so you can fight down the ramp. Because the way a ramp works is, you have to be like, okay, so this is the ramp, right here. We're gonna chrono boost the Immortal. We're actually gonna travel all the way across the map. We might get attacked, but I really doubt it. So, the way a ramp works, actually, I can just show you with this probe right here. So we have a ramp right here. There's a lot of ramps on this map. So warp gate's finished. We have enough supply to make a few more sentries. 3 is about what you want, and then a few stalkers is never a bad thing to make for this build. And then obviously you'll want some zealot. So you take a look at this ramp, right? So you don't see above the ramp, and then as you get up, there's about like this thing. Well, you're kind of breaking the party here. There's about this thing right here. So you have to get up. So until you get up that little place, you won't see. So the mothership core gives you very nice vision. It used to give you a bigger vision. I'm supply block again. I was gonna say you want a zealot to be tanking all of this for you. You always want to Panon very close to the battle, and then we're gonna go for it. We're gonna go for it. The Immortals is finished. put the immortals in front so they can target the. You can even time warp, guardian shield. Oh, he's gonna go for the mothership core. So now, as you see, I don't have any more vision. I had to get up. It wasn't as good. And you want to put the immortals in front so they can shoot down the bunkers more quickly. Unfortunately for this guy, there was no bunkers, and so it was very smooth. I think I only lost the mothership core so far in this game. So he's got some aliens, he's got some marines, but the game is over. Let's see if there's a question. If there's something you want to know about, you can ask me. Some people in chat are helpful, but some advice can be distorted or inaccurate. So you always want to be careful. Sometimes I see people getting coached, and they're being taught really bad habits, or they have really bad habits, and the coach is not trying to break that. Breaking a bad habit is one of the hardest parts of StarCraft. Because you're just so used to playing that way. There's a few things in my play that needs a change, and it's just so hard. But it's something that you kind of have to write on a piece of paper, like put it below your monitor, and just always constantly being reminded of what you have to fix. So Bronze 2 Master is about to come to an end. We're going to play one more game, and then I'm going to end the VOD for YouTube. After that, I'll be giving Art of the Swarm city key. And all you're going to have to do is be in chat and type something at that time. When I say it, don't spam now. I want to see 100 kappas. Can you tell anything about what to scout and what to expect? This will be probably in the next episode. We're not scouting a lot right now. Right now we're doing all-ins. And when you're doing all-ins, it doesn't really matter if you scout or not. Sure, at my level, when you get to Diamond, when you get to Masters, scouting before committing 100% can be a life or death situation. And you can try to get out of that all-in and transition, but if you're doing an all-in, you're just flipping a coin. You know, you go to the casino, put everything on black, make the roulette spin, and that was very French accent there. Make it spin and then just not look back, and that's sort of what some of these all-ins are. Sometimes you'll lose because the control won't be as good, but sometimes depending on the build, there was just nothing you could do. And one thing that's very important is sometimes, and I used to do this, you know, back before I was considered a pro. Not that I'm considered a successful pro right now, but the point is, you would just think, I just can't win. This build order was just too good. And then you're not looking at these little things that you can do bad, like the micro and the timing and the positioning and so on. So yes, sometimes there's a very few, well, not very few, but there's a few situations where you can win, but it's very important to not think about it and just try your best every time. Because if you try your best every time and you try to fix always the way you play, eventually you'll do really well with that build. So he scouted me. He scouted me, and I think he saw the pawn. He sees the pawn on here. Might go for an hatchery, a block, but no, goes for a hatch first. He could have just put a hatchery here, make a spawning pool, and try to run some lings inside my base, and then it would be really hard for me to wall off because there's a hatchery there. But it's not the case. We're gonna go for a forge. I wanted to. There's something I wanted to do, and I got 6 pool. What was it? I really can't recall right now. It was on this map 2 games ago too. That's a little bit of getting hold over here. So I would there's a good link all in I do on this map, but I think it'd be too hard at bronze level to just do it. You know what? We'll do the Immortal. I get asked this a lot. Immortal and Wings of Liberty. Immortal All-In was very successful, and Wings of Liberty. Player like Parting used to do very well. It's basically you make 3 Immortals and then you just go attack. So instead of making the Stargate before Warp Gate, you make the Robo before Warp Gate. We're gonna center this, re-key it, and keep making force. So but yeah, we're gonna do that. It's not. It takes good force fields. It takes good force fields. Like if you will live and die by your force fields, and that's a very repetitive thing to say in Protoss because it happens very often. It really makes a big difference in your play if you can have good force field. And sometimes, and it's really hard to know what kind of force fields you need. You have to evaluate every situation and be like, do I need defensive force fields right now? Not let him try to attack anything. Do I need to cut his army in half? Do I need to keep his army, all of his army from running away? Because there's a few situations where your army is stronger and you need to take advantage of that. Because if you give him more time, there might be a counter attack. He might make more army and eventually outnumber you. So we're getting the Robo right now. Getting the Robo, getting the Warp Gate, and we'll get a Sentry up in a second. So I don't have the exact build order, so there might be someone with the parting build order from Wings of Liberty that's going to come in chat and be like, desRow, what's wrong? But I don't care. I'm trying to do my best. I know there's a delayed fourth gas, because you don't need that much gas to begin with. Dealing my +1 right now, but with my third gas that I added, I don't think I'll need it. And yeah. Okay, so we're chrono boosting the Immortal. We're gonna make another Sentry from this gate, and we're gonna go up to 4 gas just because. So the 4 gas is delayed. We're in gold now with Bronze 2 Master. You guys should have gone up a league with me, hopefully. If you rewatch the episode and you really try to do the builds, it should go well, for sure. So we're on 4 gates. We want to go up to 7 gates. 7 gates if we make Stalkers, 8 gates if we make only Sentry and Zealot. Both are viable. The Zealot Sentry one is a little bit easier because, it's really hard to run out of Sentries if you always make Sentries. Oh, I forgot to make a Sentry here from my gate. I was making it. So we're gonna go back up in probes. Okay, so my gates are about to finish. I went up to 8 gates, but I want to do the Stalker version, so I'm sorry, my voice is destroyed. I was at Barcraft last night and I was cheering pretty loudly for the players, even though they were 1,000 miles away, or many thousand miles away. When you do an all-in, it's good to wall yourself in, so you want to lock the door. A little bit like when you leave your house, you don't want to get robbed, and it's the same thing in StarCraft. So this is a very wide place to attack. This is about 4 or 5 force field, so you want to be careful. Supply block again. Not very good. Okay. Sentry. You want to make a few Zealot, and once you get up to like 9 Sentries, that's when you can start making the Stalkers. So the Stalkers are just your damage dealers with the Immortals. The Sentries they're there to be useful, to force field, to prevent your army from. You want to zone out. You want to keep fighting his army in half every time. So I'm about maybe 30 seconds late if this would be a high master game, but it is not. And so you want to make an Observer, and then you want to make a War Prism as well. Sometimes you might want to pick up. So you see here, I want to cut his army in half, but actually his army is so small that I don't want to make him leave. So we're going to try to force field behind, and you see it traps those roaches. So sometimes the force fields you want to be very aggressive, and sometimes you don't. and it's very important to, we're going to force roll the ramp here. Oh, some of my sentries died, my zealots weren't in front, so I went from 9 sentries to 6, and he taps out. It's a very hard build to beat. It'll give you a lot of wins until Diamond for sure. But when you get to Diamond, then you live and die by your force fields, and sometimes you'll die to funky stuff like a counterattack. You know, they see that you're doing this, so they just go around your army and they kill the wall at your natural, they kill the cannon. Even though you lock your door, they can still get a ram and ram it. Not sure if that's the right word here. But that concludes episode 2 of Bronze to Master. The VOD will have the time marks for each of the build orders. It's something I wanted to do for the last episode. I didn't put it on my calendar, I forgot. But it's gonna be done, and there might even be a Google Doc with all the builds listed, like episode 1 this build, episode 2 this build, because I really want to make it a resource. You know, you want to learn a build, well, you go this episode and you can go look it up, and yeah, if there's anything I can do to make the show better, I think the EPM counter is a nice little addition. I try to not go too fast, although sometimes I just lose control, or rather I want to stay in control and micro my units like they should be microed, and so I naturally increase the APM by muscle memory, and it's a reflex, it's an instinct. So yeah, guys, I hope you really enjoyed the show. There's a little promotion I want to plug one last time before I let you guys leave. ASUS, if you buy, and I'll have to adjust the cards, but it's any 700 series, 800 series, and 900 series graphics card. Actually, the 800 series is for the laptop. That makes me filthy casual for getting that. But yeah, if you buy an ASUS product, you can redeem an hour free coaching with me, which is pretty cool, and a big thanks to ASUS. Every time I post these on Facebook and Twitter, the announcement for the show, like in 3 hours, I'm doing this with ASUS USA. If you want to retweet, favorite, like, it really helps show that you guys care. And so thank you again for watching. Really appreciate your time today that you spent watching this, and I hope you really had a good time. Let me know again for the feedback, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a good day.